If you've ever taken a road trip up and down Interstate 75, you know what I'm talking about. It's Florence, y'all. Today, I'm gonna talk to you about the pros and cons of living in Florence, Kentucky. It's really one of the most popular cities in all of Northern Kentucky. I'm gonna tell you what people like about it, what they don't like about it. So if you are thinking of moving here and you wanna know all about living here in the area, or you're just curious about what it's like to live in Florence, Kentucky, stick around, I'm gonna tell you all about it. Let's do it. All right, let's kick things off with the first pro, which is location. I mean, Florence is centrally located in Northern Kentucky. You're just 15 minutes from downtown Cincinnati. So you get all the shopping and amenities here in Florence, which there's a lot of those. Plus you get everything that Cincinnati has to offer. So the best restaurants, the best entertainment, like the Reds games and the Bengals games and the zoo. It's easy to pop downtown in 15 minutes and enjoy those things. Plus you get tons of different job opportunities. You're very, very close to CVG Airport, which has a ton of jobs, and you're close to downtown Cincinnati. So it's a great location to live in. Florence is also right off of Interstate 71, 75, so it's really easy. Pop on the interstate, head north to Cincinnati or Columbus, Detroit, Chicago, wherever you're heading north, or go down south to Lexington, Louisville, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, beyond. Okay, we started with a pro of location, but let's hit the con side of that. Because Florence is such a hub and it's so built up, especially here around Mall Road, there's tons of shopping like the mall, like the Florence Mall right behind me, all kinds of restaurants, all kinds of amenities. And because of that, traffic can get a little congested, especially around Mall Road, rush hour, things like that. In order to get to various places in Union, Kentucky, where there's also a large population, you're cutting through Florence, Kentucky a lot of the time. So it's certainly not like you're living in LA or Chicago, that kind of traffic, but for the area in Florence, Kentucky, it can get a little congested. There can be a little bit of traffic. Now, over the years, the city has been working with the county and they're doing a good job of improving the traffic flow. So like I said, if you're moving from a major city, it's not gonna feel like a lot of traffic at all. But if you are thinking of moving here, it is something that you need to be aware of. Quick pro tip for all of you work-at-homers, you could go to Starbucks and work for the day, or you could stop by here at Florence Crossroads. They have open hours, free coffee, great Wi-Fi. Just saying. All right, let's talk about pro number 2 in Florence, Kentucky, which is definitely the affordability. Now, Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky already are affordable compared to a lot of the country. It's maybe why a lot of you follow this channel. But in particular, here in Florence, Kentucky, housing, groceries, even entertainment are a lot more affordable than nearby areas in Cincinnati, different neighborhoods, even in Northern Kentucky, like Fort Mitchell, Union, things like that. Especially the housing, very, very affordable. So whether it's a single family home, condominium, townhome, or even if you're looking to rent an apartment, housing is very, very affordable here in Florence, Kentucky. Now, along with housing being affordable, also property tax rates are gonna be cheaper here in Kentucky than in most places in Ohio, so you're winning on that side as well.
Okay, right now in the real estate market in Florence, Kentucky, it's still a seller's market. There's about 1.5 months of inventory. List price to sold price is 99.3%. So if you're selling in Florence, Kentucky, you're probably gonna get your list price. The median days on the market is about 5 right now, and the median sold price is about $289,000. All right, let's look at the flip side of that, or the con, which is because there's a lot of affordable housing, a lot of it is older stock. It was built, a lot of inventory here built in Florence in the 90s and early 2000s. So you're coming up on, 30 years old, 25 plus years old on a lot of these houses. The nice thing about that is the neighborhoods are a little bit more mature. You've got these mature trees versus a brand new neighborhood. The downside is if you want all the new modern amenities and open floor plans of modern homes, you're not getting that. If you buy a house here, it might be a little bit more affordable, but you might need to spend some on a new roof or a new furnace that the owners didn't update. So lots of housing to choose from, very affordable, but it's gonna be a little bit older compared to maybe some other areas where new construction is going in. Now, for those of you guys looking to move here, I'll tell a little story. I moved to Florence, Kentucky when I was 6 years old, okay? My family moved down here from Michigan because of the airport, and it's been a great home ever since. In fact, my parents still live in that house 36 years later. They love the area, they love the community, they love all of the pros that come with living in Florence, Kentucky. Next up on the list for pros for Florence, Kentucky are all the amenities. So shopping, entertainment. Florence really has a lot to choose from. So if you're looking for a sit-down place to eat or something quick, you've got you covered with all kinds of restaurants. Again, now they're gonna be the suburb kind of restaurants. If you want something fancier, you might wanna head downtown. Again, that's the benefit of being so close, but kind of anything you want. Florence really is a central hub in Northern Kentucky for all things shopping, big box retail. So you've got your Costco's, your Targets, your Home Depots, your Menards, your Kroger's, and you also have smaller shops to choose from as well. Tons of retail to choose from here in Northern Kentucky.
And then in terms of things to do, you've got tons of parks and outdoor nature centers that are available to you to have a fun time. Or you can come here to the Florence Yacht Park, which is a ton of fun. If you don't want to make the trip downtown, now look, I think for your money and for your dollar, going down to Great American Ballpark and the Cincinnati Reds is some of the best Major League Baseball in the entire nation. If you want to have fun and not take the trek downtown, not take all the kids, this is an incredibly family-friendly place, super affordable, kind of has that minor league baseball feel right here in Florence, Kentucky. You know, cheap beers, have a good time. There's playgrounds for the kids to play on. It's gonna be a little bit more lighthearted, a lot of fun. This is a great place to come watch a baseball game. Another super fun amenity in town is World of Golf. Now, when I grew up, it used to be just a par 3 course, but the city got behind it, put some money into it. There's a really fun putt-putt for the kids, and they've kind of turned the driving range into a toned-down Topgolf. It's way more affordable than Topgolf. Super cheap. They've got drinks. They often have live music there. It's a ton of fun. I recommend World of Golf, whether it's for a date night or taking the family out for a good time. All right, so let's talk about a con, potentially. If you're really into nightlife and the night scene, Florence, Kentucky, maybe not so much to you. Now, there are places like here, the ballpark, Florence Yachts, you know, places like Dave & Buster's, different breweries around and restaurants where you can have a good time. But if you're into the nightclub scene and the nightlife, Florence is a suburban feel. You're just not gonna get that here. But again, 15, 20 minutes downtown, maybe go to Cincinnati, find a club, a bar that you like, a different scene down there. You're not far away from that. Another big pro is that the area is just very family friendly and there are great schools. So Boone County schools are rated some of the top in the area, and there are plenty of parks, playgrounds, sports teams, sports leagues, lots of things to get your kids and your family involved in. It really is a great place to raise a family. Okay, final con I would say is public transportation. So if you typically rely on public transit to get around, Florence isn't gonna offer a ton in terms of that department. Now, I am at the Tank bus stop here. There are some limited bus routes in the area. I mean, you can get Ubers around everywhere, but most everyone here in Florence, Kentucky is going to have their own car. Yeah, there's no light rail, there's no subway or anything like that. You are in the suburbs. So I do recommend if you're planning on living here, make sure you have at least one family vehicle, or you can be like me and buy a Sztanyo Venyo. I've got 5 kids, so we doubled down on 2 Honda Odysseys, and that's probably the way to go, is to have your own vehicle in Florence, Kentucky. It's only 11 in the morning, but I'm not gonna lie, it does kind of feel like skyline time. All right, I know I mentioned World of Golf, but another great place to play golf here in Florence, Kentucky is Boone Links Golf Course. Now, I actually grew up playing on this golf course, so I'm having a ton of memories flashback right now. Believe it or not, I was on the golf team at Boone County High School. This was our home course here, along with Lassing Point in Union, Kentucky. So I think for your money, the best public golf course options in Northern Kentucky are both here and Lassing Point, better than anything in Kenton County and Campbell County, in my personal opinion. So if you love playing golf and you don't want to break the bank on a country club like Triple Crown or Fort Mitchell Country Club or something like that, or Summit Hills, then Boone Links is a great option for golf lovers. All right, guys, there you have it. There are the pros and cons for living in Florence, Kentucky. It's a great location. It's a great place to raise a family. It's affordable living, and there are tons of amenities nearby. Now, it does come with some negatives as well, such as the housing maybe being a little bit older and some traffic nearby, but overall, it's a great place to live. Now, if you're thinking of moving to the area and you're looking to buy a house, my team would love to help you. You guys, this is what happens when you mess up your outro. You guys are pretty. If you're thinking of making a move to Florence, Kentucky, or anywhere in the Northern Kentucky area, my team would love to be your real estate resource of choice. At Team Sztanyo, we're here to help you find your home and strengthen your family. We would love to help you find your home here in Florence or the Northern Kentucky area. Guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.